everybody, what is going on? We are back with another lesson for you. Now I posted a video a while back, just me practicing some legato lines and asked if you guys would want a workout video, and the response was awesome. It was huge. So many people wanted it and have been asking me when I was going to post it. Well, now is the day. So I'm posting it now. There is tabs for these licks, and they will be over on my Facebook page. Since it is legato, I didn't put the little like hammer-on sign because that takes forever in the tablature software that I use. But you know, basically the way I approach legato is I pick literally as little as I have to. So that's kind of for me anyways, a nice basis to base all the stuff on. It's like, the less you can pick, the more legato-y it's going to be. So without further ado, here is your intense legato workout. Alright, so let's get started on these. So I do like to try to keep things as musical as possible, but some of these are strictly just going to be exercises. It's kind of going to be up to you to more apply them in situations. I just got an email. In situations kind of like in more like your scales and modes. These are going to be, you know, strictly workouts. Another email. Jesus. Anyways, so obviously if you guys are familiar with my videos, I like to use reverb and delay, the big 80s guy. But for this, I would recommend killing your reverb and delay. And when you have a very dry signal, it really makes you work for those notes. And you really can't hide behind any of this stuff. I mean, maybe even turn your gain down, or like on this guitar, maybe coil tap it or something. Really makes you work for them, and we'll develop a strong legato for you. So let's get to example number 1. Okay, so example number 1 is going to be a pattern I use all the time, and I'm going to give you 3 variations of it. So the first variation is this one, all the way down here at the end of the guitar neck where it's the toughest for us. Okay, so what I'm doing here is and you notice when I descend legato, I only pick the first note. Okay, that was me muting it. So, what I'm doing here is I'm picking 4 on the high A string, so it's 4 pull off 1. Then I hammer on to 2, hammer on to 4. Okay, and I go from 4 to 2 and down to 1. So, and that's the first one. Now, if you have trouble moving across the strings, start with just the first pattern and get to where you can repeat it pretty consecutively, is what I'm trying to say. Okay? And speed is not the important thing here. You want good, clear notes. It's actually harder for me to go like this, because my fingers have to hold those notes out longer. So I think a slower legato, as far as building your strength up, can also build it a little bit quicker than necessarily a fast one. So that's our first shape. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take it and move it across the strings. Up again. Okay. Now, one thing is that if you want to use the delay and effects and stuff, go right ahead. There's nothing wrong with that. I would honestly, if I'm practicing this, I would normally do that. You know, I just like the way that it sounds. So it's more fun for me. Okay, so we have that one, and I'll just leave the effects on there. But so that's our first one. Now what I would do is I would do that all the way up to the 12th fret. And just keep going all the way up to 12, and I'd give my hand a break. Then I come back down here and I would do this pattern. So the first one was a half step, whole step. Now we're going to do a whole step, half step. So same little area, but we're going to go 4 pull off 1, then 3, 4, 3, 1. Okay, that kind of a pattern now. Okay, and again, just kind of go all the way up. And speed is not the important thing here. You want good, clear, strong notes. So after that one, then their next pattern is this one, which is a whole step shape. Now for this one I'm using frets 5, 1, 3, 5, 3, 1. So same pattern. And I move that across the strings and I just continue to go all the way to the 12th fret. Now there's the 4th pattern if you want to incorporate it. I do it quite a bit because I like the sound of chromatics, but you can do this one kind of anywhere. It'd be like 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. And that is another good one that you can kind of throw in there. So that is example number 1. Okay, so on to example number 2. So for example number 2, it's similar to the first one, but we're going to add something, and to me this makes all the difference and makes it a million times more difficult. So we have our initial pattern, so we're going to use all of those again. But before we were only descending, so now what we're going to do is you're going to do your first pattern. Okay? But now after you go finish it, you're not going to just start back down here again. We're going to move up a fret and you're going to ascend using that same exact pattern. So it sounds kind of funky. But it's really tough. And I can already feel like my hands aren't warmed up quite enough to play this one very quick. So what I'm doing here is after you descend your first one, I slid up a fret and I'm going to go 5 to 2, 3, 5, 3, 2. Now on these, on ascending ones, I always pick the first note on each string. Okay, then I'd move up a fret and I'd descend. Move up a fret. Move up a fret. And so on, all the way up to the 12th fret. And that is going to be example number 2. So what you want to do is that same thing that we just did. You're going to use all of your finger patterns that we did. So the first one was half step, whole step. And if you don't know what I mean by that, is our first 2 fingers are a half step apart, followed by our pinky finger, which is a whole step from our middle finger. And you're gonna, this is either gonna be called, like I said, a half step, whole step, or a 1, 2, 4. So those are the fingers that we're using. So once you complete that one, you're just gonna do the same thing. Move to these 2 fingers, or these 3. And up here. And so on through it, and you go to your whole step pattern. Send it. And you can do your little chromatic one if you want. And that will give you example number 2. Alright, so example number 3 is kind of a tough one, but it's still kind of cool. We're going to use what is known as the whole tone scale, and we're going to go like this. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm just picking the first note, which is 3, hammer on 5, hammer on 7, and I do it twice. So I pick 3, but I go 3, 5, 7, 3, 5, 7. Then I move up, but I'm going diagonally this time. So now it's going to be frets 4, 6, 8. Okay, then 5, 7, 9. Then 6, 8, 10. Now this time it's a little bit different. I do a big jump here. We're going to go 8, 10, 12. And then 9, 10, or sorry, 9, 11, 13. And to me this one is much more musical than the other ones because I hear a musical value in it very quickly. Except for when I mess up. So then you're going to descend it the same way. Okay, and then you'll simply go to the next pattern. And down here. And one thing that I think is really key about my legato playing is how much I mute with my right hand. If I want like a real heavy mute, I can mute it if I want, but I always keep a little bit of a mute on there. just to clean it up a little bit, not as heavy as I just did, but I do like to incorporate that muting technique into my legato playing. Okay, so example number 4. So this one is definitely much more intense. It's going to use all of our fingers all of the time, so it's a good one. So here is our exercise. So what am I doing here? Like I said, I'm a simple chromatic exercise, but since it's all legato, it makes it a little bit tougher. We're going to go, starting on 10th fret with our pinky, we're going to go 10 to 7, hammer on 8, hammer on 9, hammer on 10, pull off 9, pull off 8, pull off 7. So now the trick to this one is when we go up to the next string, we change our starting note. So instead of starting on 10, we start on 9 now. So it's 9, 7, 8, 9, 10. So then back to 9, back to 8, back to 7. When you go up to the G, you're going to start on 8 this time. So 8, pull off 7. Hammer on 8, 9, 10, back to 9, back to 8, back to 7. Now on the D string, it starts over again just like in the beginning at 10. On the A string, it starts on 9. And then on the low E string, we start on 8. But it's all the same exercise. So that is example number 4, I think. If I say any of these wrong, it's because I can't remember anything. Okay, so example number 5, I think that's what we're on, is slightly different. It's a variation of the example number 4, the chromatic exercise. And I wanted to do this one separately because there is quite a bit difference between the two of them though. So it starts out the same spot, so we got this by now. Okay, now we're going to go to the B string again, but we're going to continually move back a fret. So it's still the same pattern, but this time we're going to go, then on the B string it'll be 8 to 6, 7, 8, 9, then back another fret, and this time we're going to go 6 to 5. And it starts over again. So and that'll be tabbed out for you guys, but that one again is this. And all these exercises are meant to be played all over the place, although I'm only playing them in one spot, strictly for time purposes. Okay, so here is I think this will be the final exercise that I'm going to give you guys, is example number 6. Now what I would recommend is all of these that we've done lower, try to do them up here. I think up here is the hardest place to play legato for some reason. You know, I like down here there's a little bit more tension, and I actually play with, if you can see my guitar, probably not, with rather high action. So some people want lower action that can help you with legato, but I've always preferred a higher action on my guitars. So what is example number 6? We're going to put most of the stuff that we learned today into an actual lick for you guys to play, and it's going to kind of go across the fretboard down here, but our higher frets. So this is going to be our lick. Alright, so here is, like I said, a more practical kind of lick that I would probably use in my own playing. So what am I doing here? I'm all the way up here at the 19th fret, so I'm going 19, pull off 15, hammer on 17, hammer on 19, pull off 17, pull off 15. So I go to the B string. Now again, like I said, I normally only pick the first note, so I kind of do a hammer on from nowhere to 19. Same pattern. Okay. And I'm going to go to the G. Now here my frets change a little bit. It's 19 to 16, 17, 19, 17, 16. Up a string, same shape. As you can probably notice, this is just a G major scale. But now we're going to go 19, 16, 17, 19. And I'm going to shift back a position this time to change it a little bit. So now what I'm doing is I'm going from 17 to 14, 16, 14, 16, 14. Okay, I move up a string. Now this time I'm going to go 17 to 14, then to 15, and then I'm going to shift back again. Now I'm at 15 to 12, 14, 15. Up a string, same exact thing. And on some kind of a G if you want it to resolve to G major. Alrighty homies, that's going to wrap it up for today. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you guys would, make sure you give that video a big old thumbs up. And if you'd like to, share the video. That really helps a bunch. That's really cool. I love seeing all the people who share these videos. You can always subscribe if you want to be notified of all of the lessons when I post them. I usually post a couple a week. Along with, like, who knows what else gets posted by me. But thank you guys so much again for watching. Peace out. Keep rocking. And I will see you guys next time.